I hope that I don't make many of you cry, but I have in the past. My panel has yelled at me. So we'll see how this goes. But what's the first thing that you think of when you hear the Dean of Students office? Somebody's in trouble, right? Great reputation to have on campus, right? Don't go talk to her, right? So what I want to be able to talk to you about is, yes, that's a part of my job. Everybody understands that. That's the first place everybody goes, and they say to their sons and daughters, you don't want to go to the dean's office. Whatever made you choose Misericordia, what I'd like to also talk to you about is the fact that as all the resources that you see here, I am part of that resource. Yes, there's a disciplinary process. Yes, there's a student code of conduct. And I'm going to have a whole session where I will promise you we'll talk a little bit about the temperament of that meeting will change a little bit than what the fun that we're having in learning about student life. But I would like to, in terms of the conversation that Kit just kind of introduced as students are leaving home, let me ask you this question. How many people are sending their first? Okay, quite a few. Might be some tears. How many people are sending their last? Goes up a whole different way. This goes up like this. Last one goes like this. We have plans for the rooms. We're going to do a whole bunch of other things. Okay, so if you will indulge me a little bit, personal story. Last year, I walked the road that many of you are walking in terms of sending my first. And it was a very difficult process. I, like many on the panel, have been here for 25 years. And I've had a very unique opportunity to be in different offices, from admissions to some other academic support work and things. And every single time I sat in an orientation, I said to families, we got this. They're great. No worries. For 25 years. And now all of a sudden it became really personal. Because I'm looking at my son and I'm going, yeah, this place is wonderful. He's not here, by the way. Anywhere where his mother is. But yeah, this place is wonderful and these people are going to be really supportive, but how am I going to do this? Because now I'm on the other side of the desk. And quite honestly, I don't like it. So as I was going through open houses, and you hear what people tell you in terms of, suggestions on how you get through the college search process, is you say to your son or daughter, you're going to get a feel for the campus. It's going to feel like home. It's going to feel a place that you feel supported. And I was going through that process as well. Halfway through, I sat at one session and I was like, I am really going to let this kid go. And I don't think I can do it. I understand that there's supports and I understand, but this is mine. And how can I possibly drive up with all of his stuff and say, here you go? Now, mind you, a day or two later, we all have 17 and 18-year-old kids, and we know what that 18-year-old is like, right? They don't want to walk too close to you because when we were at open houses and things, he's like, Mom, don't ask any questions. And then he knows everything. I don't need a curfew. I don't need this. So there were times that I'm like, I can't wait to drop him off. I get that. But at this moment in time, I was really reflective of the fact that I'm going to have to do this. And I've been telling people for a long time that they have to do it and it's all going to be okay. I don't know if it's going to be okay. But I was sitting in a session, and I want to share the experience with you because it helped me tremendously. I was sitting in a session, and the gentleman that was speaking walked us through this visual of what we encounter and what the journey is when we're raising our sons and daughters. And he said, and I invite you to do this, you don't have to literally close your eyes, but he said, close your eyes and think of your son or daughter at 5 and what that was like. And at 5, it began the letting go process, because what did we have to do? We had to take them to kindergarten, right? And we took them to a bus stop. And they had their tag, and you took all the pictures. But in the process, you were saying, are the kids on the playground going to be nice? Is someone going to open up the orange drink the same way that I would? They really like their sandwich cut this way, and what happens if that doesn't happen? And God forbid, what happens if their shoes are untied, right? Who's going to do that? And it began that process, but we had to trust people. We put them on that bus, and we knew that somebody was going to make those decisions for us and for them as we were going through it. So, okay, oh boy, there's tears over here. I'm going over here. Because I don't want to cry. I'm mic'd. So So you're in that process, and he's walking us through this, and he's talking about what that means to let them go. And now he said, I want you to open your eyes, and I want you to look at your son or your daughter sitting next to you. And he was. And for a moment, I left he's driving me nuts, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to take him, and I'm going to take him to this campus, and I'm going to say, go get him, right? This is your time. And what he talked about, what really resonated with me was that bus. Because he said, now you're going to put them on the same bus. But you can get on the bus, and you should get on the bus. But now our place is in the back of that bus. And you can yell up ahead, you're going too fast. But they have their foot on the accelerator. You can yell up ahead and say, I really think you need to take a left turn here. But they want to take a right turn instead. And it made me think about all the different encounters that I've had in walking this journey with so many students. And this is the reason. This is the reason that it works. And I promise you, you will get the phone calls. True story, 8:15, I was down at the Dunkin' Donuts. My phone rang. I looked at it. I'm like, this isn't good. He's supposed to be in class. Answered the phone. Seriously. Slept through his first chemistry exam. Freaking out. I said, Zachary, suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know what to tell you. You better talk to somebody. Now, I hung up the phone, and probably all of these people on this panel can say she was in going, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I didn't call anybody. I didn't call a faculty member. I told him he needs to figure it out. He has a responsibility to do that. So I share that story with you rather vulnerably, quite honestly, to say that this is a hard process, and we recognize that, whether it's your first or whether it's your last, because they all come with their own set of expectations and needs that you learned as you were raising them. But what I can promise you is this. One is that they will do it, and you will too. If I can get through it, anybody can, because I was a baby, and I continue to be. But they will get through it because of the guidance that you have given to them, because of the ways that you have coached them to make some decisions, and because of the conversations that hopefully you're having now as you begin the process of letting go again. The other thing I will promise you this, that 18-year-old who is rather flippant, rolls their eyes at you all the time, they're going to have a whole new perspective of the wisdom that you have, because that's when the phone calls happen. I have more conversations with him now about just life in general, and I'm fortunate that he wants to be able to have those open conversations, but I can assure you that those conversations only happen because he had the wings to fly along the way. And I invite you to invite your sons and daughters to do the exact same thing, because we are here to walk the journey with them. And they need to know what it's like to walk into somebody's office and met with what I'm sure you hear in terms of the sincerity of this panel on what it means to be part of the Misericordia community and part of us in student life. So I wish you all the best. I will see you in another session. If you have any questions throughout the day, please do not hesitate to give me a question or two along the way. Okay? Thank you, and I apologize if I made you cry.